To get here, you have to start here. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Katie and welcome to Katie Does Travel. I am a solo female backpacker in our 30s, here to show that solo travel can be fun and meaningful no matter your age. So if that sounds like something you would enjoy, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on my social media channels that are on the screen here. So currently I am in Latacunga, I think that's how you say it, Latacunga, Ecuador. So I got here this morning by taking a public bus from Machachi, which is, I think that's how you say it. So I took a public bus from there to here. It was about an hour long, it cost me $2, and it wasn't that bad. My Airbnb host, not Airbnb, it was just like a hostel host, was kind of psyching me out because he was telling me to take like an Uber or a taxi, which would have been like $30 to $50. Versus $2 for the bus. So I'm definitely glad I did the bus. I will say though, backpacking here, even like compared to Central America, but definitely specifically like the European countries and Australia, is a whole different beast here. This is definitely backpacking like on like medium to hard mode versus like going through Europe and going through Australia. Those are like easy. Central America, like it's like a little bit more difficult, but you can do a lot more shuttle buses. But I'm finding South America is definitely a lot more public buses. So it's just a little bit more, trying to figure out things on your own. But anyway, like I said, I'm here in Latacunga. I'm just here for the night. And then tomorrow I'm going to be starting on it's like a 3-day, I'll be spending like 3 days, but it's like basically like a 3-day hike of the Quilotoa Loop. So I'll talk a little bit more about that day by day. But I'm starting here, and then tomorrow morning I'm taking a bus to the town of Sigchos, something like that. I'll put it here, and it's about a 2-hour bus. So I'm going to try to do this hike as much as I can independently, because I just like really want to challenge myself to do something very much out of my comfort zone. I mean, I do day hikes and such by myself, but this is kind of like a multi-day hike. And even though I'm staying at hostels along the way, this is just very different, but we'll see. I did meet 2 guys in my hostel back in the Cotopaxi area. Really, there were like 4 of us total, and one of them was a German guy, which he was doing like the actual Cotopaxi summit. But anyway, I met these 2 guys. They've been in Latacunga. They came here actually yesterday, and they're supposed to start the loop today, but I think they're starting tomorrow. So, whoops, low power mode. So I think they're starting tomorrow, but yeah. What was I gonna say? I got distracted by low power mode. Oh, so I think they're starting tomorrow, but I'm definitely a little bit of a slower hiker compared to them. I'm not like out of shape. I'm just a slower hiker. I just like to watch my footing a little bit more, stop, take photos, etc., etc. So, but it would be nice if we can get on the same bus in the morning. So actually I'm meeting one of them shortly because he forgot his toothbrush and toothpaste at the last hostel. So I brought it for him. So we're meeting up. So I'm just going to see real quick, like if they're leaving in the morning, what time, because there's a bus at 5 a.m., at 6 a.m., and then 8 a.m. Wish there was a 7, because 7 would be perfect. But looking at either that 6 or 8, I'm a little hesitant for the 8 a.m. because we wouldn't start until 10. But 6 a.m. is also very early. So we will see. It's just right now we're in the dry season, or not the dry season. We're in the wet season. We're rainy season here in Ecuador, so definitely get some rain showers. So I'm trying to start my hikes early, so I'm kind of at my accommodation by the time it really starts raining. But anyway, we will see. But what I did once I got to Latacunga is I did my own version of GTL, Jersey Shore.
GTL, baby. Gym, tan, laundry.
So I did my G. I did not go to the gym, but I did walk a lot with a heavy pack. But I did go get groceries, which are there. And I'll show a little bit later, like what I'm packing and such. But did my groceries, my tea, I did not tan, but it's like my ATM. I got some cash out of the ATM, and then I did do laundry, which is that bag right there. So, anyway, I'm going to kind of start pulling things out. I think one of the guys is supposed to be here about 4:30 to pick up his toothbrush and toothpaste. So I'll go down in the lobby and beat him there real quick, see what their plan is for tomorrow. But anyway, yes, so we are starting this. I'm really excited, but I'm also very nervous, but I think it's going to be good. And this is the only bag I will be bringing. So I got to repack it because right now it's my electronics bag, but it will be my hiking bag. So I will be storing my big bag here because I'll be back here so today's the 14th. I'll be back on the 18th. So anyway, that is it for now. I will catch you all later. And we'll go through the packing and all that just in case you decide that you would like to do this. All right, so I'm not 100% like, I haven't pulled every single thing, but I think minus the stuff on the pillow, I think this is everything I'm gonna bring. We're gonna see if it fits in my bag. I do still have like my drone charging, my external battery, my GoPro and such. But I'm trying to get everything to fit in here. And this is the Osprey Daylight Plus, so it's like a 20-liter bag. And I don't want it to weigh too much, so we will see. I'm just trying to get away with that. I might have to bring my crossbody, or I might just need to put a couple things in my spy belt, but we're gonna see. Toiletries have been pretty pared down. Some things have been decanted, like my facial lotion and sunscreen. But yeah. And then some of the clothes I'm gonna wear twice because I'm not trying to impress anyone, and it is what it is. It's only 3 nights, but yeah. And then this, I'm not bringing all my injury stuff. I'm just seeing what I can bring. And then I also have my snacks. So I'll show you those real quick. So I have a couple bottles of water that I'm gonna put on each side. So it's 1 liter bottles. I'm also gonna bring my other bottle, which is 16 ounces. But I just wanna make sure I have enough water, and then I'll just refill those day by day. Have some trail mix for each day, some crackers, these little like Rockettes candy. They're sort of like I don't know, like an M&M sort of, but it's like a white chocolate. So I don't know, I figure it's like a little treat. And I have some like cookies for each day. And then, yeah, so some of the hostels have packed lunches that you can partake in or you can purchase. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do those. Here, let me flip you around. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the packed lunches just because typically when I hike, I don't have like a full meal. I'll just like have some snacks, but we will see. See how I feel after tomorrow. Tomorrow is supposed to be the shortest hike. I talked to the guy from Manchester. The other guy actually ended up leaving today, so he's at least a day ahead of us. But we're going to, sorry, I have like 5,000 hair ties. We're gonna take the 8 a.m. bus tomorrow together. We might not hike together, which is totally fine with me because I kind of want to do it alone anyway. But it'll be nice to have someone on the bus with me. So anyway, I'm gonna start getting everything packed up, and then I will report back later if I was able to get everything in there, what I took out, etc., etc.
Storms on the roof.
hiking today from Sigchos to Isinlivi. I don't know if I said that right. Basically it's about like a 10-kilometer hike. As you can tell, it's very, very pretty. So we got on the 8 a.m. bus this morning to go to Sigchos, where the kind of the loop starts. It says it's a loop, it's not really a loop, it's kind of like a point to point to point. So tonight we're going to our first hostel, which would be the Llullu Llama. We're about, let's see, we're about 2 miles into the hike, so it's definitely been pretty easy so far, but the difficult part is coming. I have the All Trails. I did a week free trial of All Trails to download the offline map, so you definitely need that here, just to make sure you're going the right direction. But anyway, I have a little bit of a hiking partner because I came down here because I'm a little awkward in vlogging, but we're going to probably continue here shortly, and there's someone on a bike coming. But yeah, we're probably gonna continue on here shortly, and I'll just kind of do like little voiceovers and such, and then hopefully when I get to the hostel later on today, we get on the hostel a little later on today, I can give like my first day thoughts. But this is definitely something very much outside my comfort zone, but I'm really excited to take you along for the journey. So anyway, day one, we're about a third of the way through, and yeah, hopefully I can get my drone up too. Hopefully the weather stays like this. It's a little bit overcast, a little bit chilly, a little bit windy, but not too bad. So anyway, let's go continue along the trail, and I will bring you along.
It's a beautiful day. Why would anyone take that away? Can we stay? Let's just stay. It's a beautiful, wonderful day. We rode our bikes down broken streets. We chased the sun, chased the sun. The day was great, we made it shine. And you were mine, you were mine. The world outside can fall apart. I don't care, as long as I can have your heart. 'Cause you have mine, you have mine.
So I'm a lot of breath. It just went uphill. But, I separated a little bit from my hiking partner because I'm just going a little faster on the uphills. So yeah, this is the portion of today that's a little bit more difficult because it goes uphill, but still just like being out of breath, still feeling pretty good. It's really pretty out here. Weather is still holding out, so hopefully it continues to stay that way. But yeah, I'm enjoying this a lot more than I thought, but ask me that on day 2 and in day 3 because my opinions might change. But we're at 4.39 miles and a little over 2 hours, so we've definitely taken some breaks to take photos and videos, water, etc. But I'm gonna keep going so you don't have to hear my out of breathness, and catch you all a little bit later.
Concrete and flowers will bloom and cover the streets. Don't forget what's beneath the concrete. It's coming through the cracks and through the concrete. We can dance all night and break the concrete. And flowers will bloom and cover the streets. Today is a beautiful day. Why would anyone take that away? Can we stay? Let's just stay. It's a beautiful, wonderful day. We rode our bikes down broken streets. We chased the sun, chased the sun. The day was great, we made it shine.
So now that I've had a shower, I'm in my hostel. I'm staying at the Llullu Llama. There's only like 2 hostels here in this first stop, but this is the one that's like really popular. So I'll give you a little tour after I do this. But day 1 was good. I definitely wish we could have started earlier. If I had to go back, I might have done the 6 a.m. bus. So I would have been hiking by about 8:30, because we didn't start hiking until 10:30. And I was with a girl in the beginning, like the first couple hours we did, and the first couple hours are mostly like downhill or flat, so it's fairly easy. But then after, I would say, I think when you get to like mile 4-ish, I'll put the kilometers on the screen, but when you get to mile like 4-ish, that's when it starts to like go uphill pretty steeply. And it's only going to get more difficult from here. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but you can also do the loop in reverse. So you could start in Quilotoa and finish in Sigchos, but most people do it the way I'm doing it, because why would you want the reward right at the beginning? Because you kind of just, if you do it the opposite way, while it's easier with the elevation and the incline, you kind of just like end in Sigchos and you're like, okay. So I think despite the difficulty, I think this way it makes more sense. But anyway, day one, I would give it like I guess 8 out of 10. I think I did pretty well. Some of the uphills were definitely like difficult because it was just muddy, so it was really slippery to try to like get some traction. I did have my hiking poles, which really did help a lot. But again, I know tomorrow is going to be a little bit more difficult, and then day 3 is going to be more difficult. So I'm definitely going to make sure I do like some stretching, some rolling out my feet, massage gun, and just kind of taking it easy tonight. I don't have like my laptop, my iPad, or anything, just my phone. So hopefully I can talk to some other people, and hopefully the girl that I was hiking with, we'll see her soon within the hour. And then also someone I met in Cotopaxi, he went ahead. He's already like been here. So yeah, he's just a much faster hiker, but did it in like 3 hours and like 13 minutes or something. I'll have the stats. I've already shown the stats, but yeah, so it wasn't like too shabby. Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm happy with it. So anyway, that's gonna be it for now. Sorry I didn't really like whip out the camera towards the end. I was just hearing thunder and I just wanted to get here, so I kind of was like booking it the last mile and a half. So yeah, but anyway, that is it for now. I will check in with you all probably tomorrow, but I'll do a little hostel tour here real quick so you can see this hostel, because it is pretty nice. Also, I think that they upgraded me. I booked a semi-private, and I think they like upgraded me to a private, so I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so I'll give you a little tour, and then I will check in with you tomorrow to start day 2. So this is my little hostel tour of the Llullu Llama. So I'm just kind of showing you the room that I stayed in. It was a semi-private, so the bathroom was like directly across the hall. And then when you go in, this is kind of like the initial lobby area, and it has some sitting room area, has some maps as well, so I'll show you a little bit later about the surrounding area. But this is the main kitchen and kind of bar area, so you can buy separate drinks if you want, but your meals are included. So we were fed dinner and then breakfast the next morning before we headed out. But as you can see, you can also buy, if you want to buy lunch or like a box lunch, you can do that. They had a place you could fill up your water with safe water, because you can't drink out of the taps. And then they also had a little area, which I believe I'm going to walk into now. And this is kind of a little lounge sitting area. And they also had board games, and you could just, it was like a good place to socialize with people. It wasn't super cold when I was there, but they also have like a fire chimney thing that they can light up for the evening. And then they also have this little yoga studio, and they do yoga classes, but I didn't do it because it started maybe an hour after I got there, and I just kind of wanted to sit on the floor for a bit, you know. But they do have a little yoga studio. You can do some stretching and such in too. And then they also have a spa that you have to pay additional for, but I believe it was like a sauna and maybe a hot tub. I had to look into that. And then, like I said, they had maps and everything. You can also buy some local crafts. And I actually bought a little llama. You can see him in the video, but I'll show it a little bit later. And that is the tour of the Llullu Llama. Good morning. So it is day 2 here on the trail. I haven't left yet. I'm about to. But today we're going from Isinlivi to Chugchilan. Oh God, I cannot pronounce these. I'm so sorry. But anyway, it's like 7-8 miles, so we're gonna do that. Actually taking like a little bit of a detour because I have a friend who's a day ahead and he was saying that it's super muddy, so we're gonna take a bit of a detour. So hopefully I can navigate that correctly, but it is gonna probably add some distance, so we will see what happens. It's really pretty over here, but then you're starting to see the clouds over here, so hopefully the weather can hold out until the early afternoon when we should make it to the next place. And I say we because while a lot of us are hiking independently, we're kind of like, we still know each other and everything. So anyway, welcome to day 2, and I think it's gonna be a good day, and we're gonna head out here very shortly and hit the trail. It's gonna get hard here shortly. I don't know if you can see this. Sorry if you can. So I am 4.63 miles in. I'm back on the all trails route because we had to take a detour just because it was like super muddy. So now, as you can tell, kind of just on this dirt road, which is fine. You definitely feel the altitude still, but it's mainly like what I talk, honestly. Sorry, it's got windy all of a sudden, but yeah. So I'm gonna continue. I'm still feeling pretty good. Kind of separated again. Like we kind of hiked together, me and this girl, and then she's a little slower on the uphills than me, so we kind of separate. She got me through a pretty steep downhill section, which downhills are my weakness. So anyway, it should be a fairly straight shot to the next hostel, but I know that it's quite uphill, so savoring this kind of flat for a bit until I'll have to suffer through that. But just wanted to give a little update. It's really pretty. Oh look, I'll show you the church. I'm getting to like the next like little town, but we'll take a look at the church. I don't know if I can go inside, but yeah, it is just so beautiful. I'm trying to get to the hostel like around 2:30. I have less than 4 miles left, so that should be doable. But anyway, that's the update, and I'll see you all later. So this next portion of the trail was probably honestly the most difficult part of the entire hike, even though day 3 is supposed to be the most difficult. But this portion was like pretty much straight uphill at a pretty steep incline. Like this is actually later in and it's still super steep, but yeah, and it just was so difficult too with all the wetness and the rain from the previous days that it was just really difficult. But I did finally make it through But I did get caught in a major downpour about a kilometer away from the hostel, and I had to take shelter under a bus shelter for about 10 minutes. But then this little dog kind of greeted me and kind of walked me the rest of the way. But yeah, then I finally made it to the hostel for the evening, and day 2 was in the books. Hopefully that's an okay angle. There's a little bit of noise from, I'm not quite sure. It sounds like water running, but I don't know. Anyway, so day 2 is done. I'm here in is here. I'm sorry, my brain is literally mush. And you know me, I can't pronounce things. Day 2 was very hard. So I kind of talked about on the trail how we had to take some deviations from like the all trails route. So it was a lot longer. So it said 7.3 miles if we'd taken that direct route, but it ended up being like let's look at my Garmin. Garmin's a little bit more accurate. 7.7 miles, and I did it in almost 4 hours. It was like 3 hours, 55 minutes, and 56 seconds. And I did like stop and such, but it was tough. Definitely parts were like washed out. It is rainy season, so I do expect that, but it was definitely very, very tough. Some of those inclines were like pretty steep grades, and just has me very nervous for tomorrow. I am hoping that tomorrow we don't have to deviate too much from the all trails route, because that was also playing a lot of mind games with me, because I didn't really know how much further we had, because I was like kept having to like take all these like alternate routes, so I didn't really know how much further. And so I'm just really hoping that the route tomorrow, even though it seems like it's very difficult, I mean it has about 3,500 feet of elevation gain, and it's pretty steep. I am just hoping that I can just follow the green line, because it does mentally, it's a lot easier for me. But yeah, I would give it like today a 6 out of 10. It was definitely a lot harder. Definitely was a lot more like upset with myself. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to leave earlier. I think originally I was gonna stay the night tomorrow in Quilotoa, but I think I'm gonna back to Latacunga, which means I need to like leave here earlier, because we didn't get on the trail this morning until like 8:45, because breakfast at the hostel wasn't until 8. But at this hostel I'm at now, which is like Hostel Cloud Forest, breakfast is from 7 to 9. So I'm gonna like pretty much like get breakfast real quick and go, like try to get out of here by 7:30, because I think the last bus to Latacunga is either at 4 or 5. And I'd rather not be on that last bus. I'd rather like try to get on the 3. So if I leave at 7:30, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 2. Gives me like about 8 hours or so. And I just like want to enjoy the like the the lake. Like that's why I'm doing this. I really just think I need to just listen to my gut, and like what it's just, I don't know. I'm kind of mad at myself that I like was like listening to someone else, even though my gut was like kind of telling me to go a different way. But anyway, that was day 2. I'm very tired. My feet hurt. I'm gonna do some stretching and all that and do stuff, and then just try to relax and kind of figure out just like the next few days as much as I can on my phone, because I don't have anything else. Man, I wish the new Hunger Games book was coming out today, but it's like still 2 days away. Oh, it would have been perfect for this loop to like be able to read it at night, but oh well. 2 more days from when I'm recording this. Obviously it would have been out by now by the time I upload this, but anyway, that's all. I'll catch you all later. Maybe I'll do a little tour of this hostel, maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just tired, but I'll see you all later. Bye. Good morning. It is almost 7:30, day 3 of the hike. I'm about to go because the weather is kind of iffy today, so I'm just trying to get there as kind of as quick as possible. So I'm not 100% sure how much I'm gonna vlog because it's really gonna just be like one of those heads down days. But today is when I'm supposed to get to the lake. This is like kind of the ultimate prize, so I really want to try to get there before it gets like really bad. So anyway, today it's supposed to be the longest day, but yesterday was pretty long because we took some detours at added distance, but today should be pretty straightforward. I think All Trail says like 7.3 miles. Let's look real quick. Says oh, okay, it says 7.7 miles, and yesterday we did 7.7, so maybe it's about the same distance, but it's definitely more uphill. So anyway, wish me luck. I'm really nervous because again of the weather, but hopefully it can just hold out and I can get there safely. But anyway, welcome, day 3. Let's go and let's try to have as much fun as we can, but while keeping a good distance or a good pace. Day number 3, it was finally time to head to the lake, and the weather wasn't the greatest, but it remained mostly drizzly and overcast the entire time. But we were definitely trying to keep a good pace so we would get there before the storms. I actually it was a little confusing where the trail actually was at one point, and I actually ended up going the wrong way for a bit, and I turned around, and then I actually met someone who left later than me, but because he is faster. And we ended up actually being the same pace because this was so uphill and he was really tired and I was tired too. But we just ended up actually hiking day 3 together. So it actually worked out really well. But I didn't vlog as much just because I was with him, and then also because we just wanted to kind of get to the lake in a reasonable time. But you can kind of see some snippets, but it was definitely very uphill on this day. Lots of mudslides, but overall still really fun and just really excited to finally get to the lake that we've been waiting to get to all week. Okay, so we're like probably like 2/3 in, making good time. It's not even noon yet. Done like 5-something miles, so making good time. Definitely it doesn't look very steep, but going uphill for the rest of the way. So, but yeah, I'm not really vlogging just because I'm hiking with someone, and then also just kind of focusing on the trail, but we're getting there. Very tired though, but the weather is holding out. It's a little sprinkly, but otherwise it's holding out, but it is quite pretty. My hiking partner's down there, but yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna keep going, but yeah, it's definitely worth it, but it's definitely, you have to be in good shape, and the altitude on day 3 definitely does start to hit you. Done, but I'll have more thoughts when I get back to Latacunga because it's very cold and rainy. But that's the lake. Very tired, but I'm feeling very accomplished. So I'll give like day 3 recap and my overall recap a little bit later. But yeah, made it before the storms really started to come in. So yay!
Something we feel, it's so nice to get away, if just for a moment, if just for a day, we can drive past the signs, over the borders of our mind, 'cause today...
Hi, so this is editing Katie here. I'm not going to talk too long because this video is already long enough. I realized I never really came on to finish, I guess, like my thoughts on day 3, but essentially it was just kind of heads down, get it done, because the weather was kind of unpredictable. I ended up hiking with someone, as you saw, and yeah, so we made it there, and it was a good time. I'll put the stats here on the screen, but overall, the 3 days on the hike was just incredible. Yes, we had to deal with the weather. Yes, we were worrying about that pretty much the entire time, but that's just what happens when you're hiking and doing that during the rainy season. So a couple things if you're deciding to do this yourself. First off, it is super simple to like get there and relatively speaking. Do I think you need a guide for this? No, I'm glad I did it independently with like the group of people I had met. People are really nice out there on the trail. Of course, you always have to be careful and aware of everything. But when I went again, it was in like mid-March, so it wasn't as busy because it was technically the rainy season. I can't speak to it as how it is in terms of traffic on the trail during, when it's more the dry season. But I think definitely we did catch it at a decent time because it wasn't like too wet, other than that detour we had to do because of the mud. And it was nice to have someone that we knew a day ahead of us so they can kind of tip us off a bit. And then we were also able to tell like the hostel host what we had heard from our friend, and they were able to help us navigate around certain areas. I'm going to leave a link down below that has like different itineraries you can take, whether you want to do this in 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, or 5 days. The 3-day that I did is definitely the most kind of recommended, most hiked. You can extend it. You can also, if you want to spend a day in one of those places just recovering and doing some things, there are definitely activities you can do. So I'll leave the link down below. I think the website's actually run by Llullu Llama, and it has a lot of great information and resources that I used when I was planning this and that you could use as well. In terms of logistics, we did stay the night before in Latacunga. I stayed at the Rossum family hostel. They were really, really nice. They stored our big bags. They did have a breakfast. The morning that I left actually before they started breakfast, but one of the staff actually ran out as I was leaving to give me like a bag of like some, like I think a banana and some energy bars and water. So that was really nice. I didn't have to do that. I wasn't expecting that. So the Roslyn family hostel was pretty nice. I had a private room. I stayed there the night before my hike and then when I came back, and they were also really flexible in terms of, because I realized I was going to come back a day earlier. We weren't going to stay the night in Quilotoa. So they were able to change the reservation for me, which was really, really nice. The first day, so after we woke up early, we took that bus from Latacunga to Sigchos. That was about $2 and about a 2.5 hour bus ride. So it wasn't too bad. You just have to make sure that you get to it, but your hostel host in Latacunga, if that's where you start, will know where to go. You could start closer. You can actually stay in Sigchos if you want, but I don't think you really have to. But it's definitely something me and my group were debating, but we decided no, we're just gonna take the bus there in the morning and start hiking. First night I stayed in the Llullu Llama. It's a really popular hostel. I believe there's only 2 places you can stay in that town. But Llullu Llama is really nice. It's not too expensive. Again, I think I got upgraded, but I was in like a private room. And they also, within like the cost of your accommodation, you also get meals. So you get dinner and breakfast, and you can also buy beer and snacks and all that. I definitely recommend it. I am a vegetarian, and they were able to accommodate my food preferences, and I just had to email them a couple days ahead of time. So then the second day we stayed at Hostel Cloud Forest. Again, I think this is another town that's like a couple places you can stay. They're all kind of the same, but what I liked about the Hostel Cloud Forest, it was pretty big. Again, you got food included, you got meals included. I think the meals in Llullu Llama were just a little bit better, but that's just my personal taste. Again, able to accommodate my dietary needs. And they also had like a place they had like a yoga studio so you could stretch, which was really nice. They also had it was really crappy, but they had a pool table and some games. Llullu Llama also had a game room. But yeah, some games and stuff to entertain yourselves at night because you don't have like electronics and everything. And yeah, then we went to Quilotoa. The reason why we didn't stay there is just that our friend who was there, like hiking a day ahead of us, just said he got really, really weird vibes there. I think he ended up actually staying the night there, and he just said it was just really strange, and he probably would not have stayed there. So I can't really speak to it. I will say when me and my friend were walking through there to get to the bus, to head back to Latacunga, it was really weird, but it was also really quiet because it's not the busy time of year. So I think we were just kind of like the odd ones, like doing this hike. So I don't know. But anyway, then the bus ride back was a couple of dollars. And again, it was a few hours. And it was a little tricky to find the bus stop initially, but we did ask someone. They were able to get us to the right place. So, always carry cash with you. Don't carry too much. I think I had about $100 just in case. It was kind of like throughout my bag. Don't bring a big bag, because you're going to be carrying it. And just have fun. It's a fun hike. Probably one of my favorites of my entire trip. And I definitely recommend it. I would love to do it again and do other ones like it. But yeah. So anyway, that's going to be it for this video. So thank you so much. I'll catch you all in the next video. And as always, remember to wander far and wander often. Bye.
Turn it up, don't turn it off. Turn me round, put me in my place. From there, I can see it all. So beautiful.